Okay,
Yep,
so
looks great.
thanks, David, and the community for giving me this incredible opportunity to present in this call. So this is my first session. So yeah, looking forward to contribute more on this community. So let me start by introducing myself. So myself, Swami. I'm from India, working in a SharePoint and Power Platform from the past 3 years. Also, I've been working on a lot of POCs and Microsoft technologies as well. So coming towards today's agenda, which is the Microsoft Syntex. So if you know that from a long time, there is a concept called SharePoint Syntex as well. So there are a lot of word you might heard about it. One is SharePoint Syntex, then there's SharePoint Premium as well, and this is the Microsoft Syntex. So all these things are mostly same. So Syntex, once I will show you the what is the agenda of today's meeting. So first we'll discuss what is Microsoft Syntex, then what are the Syntex services available. Then we are going to see the content assembly, which is the part of the syntax services. So what is the use case of it? And we'll see the actual demo, like how you can implement that Microsoft Syntex content assembly service in your document processing. And there are some use cases as well. So how you are going to use that. So first, let me start introducing about what Microsoft Syntex is. So Syntex is service that is majorly use the AI and for the document processing, content understanding. Also, it uses the AI and machine learning to optimize the documents, to classify the documents across your SharePoint online sites, your across the organization as well. So it really help us to quickly analyze, classify the documents. So if we talk about syntax services, so there are a lot of services like first one is document processing. In document processing, we have the structured and unstructured document processing. So if you heard about Power Platform AI Builder, so it is exactly the same, but Microsoft did give us the platform to manage all this document processing on the SharePoint environment only. So we don't have to go in Power Apps to create a documents processing model using AI Builder, then apply the model in the document library. But using Microsoft Syntex, it's very easy that you have to set up the SharePoint site and you can access all these things in the SharePoint site only. Then we have few services called as content assembly, image tagging, taxonomy tagging, and these all the services. So our majorly the goal is for the content assembly only. So in content assembly, what we can do, just imagine one scenario like if you are using some document processing. So let's say if you are creating some contract documents for your client. So there are a lot of process. So first the client is onboarded, then we have to generate some SOW templates. Then once the client is finalized, then we have to send a contract. So this process is currently, let's say, will take some time, right? So there are manually we have to create a document, then manually we have to do the entries in the document, right? So using Microsoft Syntex, what we can do, we can just create a document template. We can store all the client information in some list or libraries in the SharePoint, and we just have to fill some information and it will create all the documents using the information that already present in the document library or the documents client that we have shared with us. We are going to extract all these fields and all this data using some AI builder documents as well. So what is the use case here is the first one is the efficiency. Second one is consistency and reducing error, because there are a lot of chances that we get some, let's say if you are a person manual typing in, there are lots of typo error we got. Sometimes if you change the word format also, there is a lot of formatting issues are there. Okay, so let's move toward the demo, like what we can see. So for this example, I have taken one SOW. So this is a simple SOW I have just created. So let's say this is the scope of a document. This is our migration project. And here are some basic information about client. So what is the client name? What is the date? Who is the primary contact and primary contact email as well. So if you scroll below top of the document, so this is the complete SOW, like if you are proposing a solution to client. So this is the standard format we use. Then to create a contract, what we have did, we have created one Microsoft document Word template. So as you can see, let's say if you are an organization, you use the standard templates as well to create a contracts. So in this contract, you can see the information like client name, client address, and the complete structure is almost same. Only the change will be in these service date, end type, service provider, client name, and their address. So these are the information we have to manually fill in. Or let's say you have some person that have to manually fill in all this data using different location. We have to get the files, we have to get the contacts. If we don't have some information, then we have to ask someone to do it. So there are a lot of manual tasks involved. So what we can do, we can just create the document template using this document, and then we can upload the document in the document library, and we have the content extraction model using Microsoft Syntex that will extract the information from this document, and it will create a template based on that. So the flow will work like, if you have the client list, as you can see that I have the list in the SharePoint that is storing the client details. So let's say there are some clients name like company name, contact name, and these are the just standard columns I use for this. So for every client, we are creating SOW document. So let's say I have the library called as the SOW documents. In that, I have added the documents. So as you can see, here are some columns that I have created, but I'm not manually typing in all the information. So once I upload a document in this document library, the AI processing model will automatically capture all the information in this document. So just for example, so this is the document I have shown you here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to simply add this document into this document library. So once the document get uploaded, it will extract all the information like the client name, date, contact name, and contact email in these columns. So these are the very small information I captured here. If the SOW is big, you can capture a lot of information, but you have to train the model based on that as well. Because to extract the information, we have to build a model first. Then you have to select the library where you want to apply this model. So once the model is applied, you can see I have just added few documents here, and it automatically capture this information in my document library. So it will take some time to extract the content here. I'll just show you quickly how we can create the contracts. So for the contract creation, we have another list that will store the client name, contract start date, contract end date, and contract link. To create a contract, what we have to do, we have to just select the client name. So let's say already existing client, I have this global solutions. So I will click on global solutions. I will specify what is the contract start date here. So let's say the contract will start from 8th of July to 31st of July. And the contract number I will just type in as a 301. So once it is get saved, then we are using one Power Automate flow to generate that document using that mod template. So the flow will run in a minute. Till that time, we can see in the SOW documents, as you can see, the documents I have added here, the BY consulting, it automatically captured all these details like client name, contact email, whatever the information was present in my SOW document, it automatically calculate this information and put this in the respected column as well. Then this is the second step that we got the information about from the SOW. Then the third step is to create a contract. So I will go on a new contract creation form. Let's say I will create a new item. I will select the client name. I will specify the contract start date and contract end date here. And here I will put a contract number as 401. So once I save this, the flow will again run. It will go to this clients list and the SOW document library to capture all the information that we already fill in this document library and store that information in the contracts. So as you can see, I have just added this global solution. So once I click on it, it will open the documents. And here is the service contract that automatically got created using the existing information. So here we got the client name, here we got the client address, then who is the service provider, their details as well, SOW ID, then here the service start and service end, and what is the service type. So this is all the information that we already put in the SOW document. So all this information have already been captured here. So this is my template I have used. I'll just refresh just to check the flow has been run or not. Okay, so it will take some time. Yeah, as you can see, just it just got populated. So for the BY consulting, I will open this document. It will download that document and just check. You can see the client name is already in here. The service provider, this is the static I have added in my document. And the service start date, end date, what is the service type, all the information automatically get captured. So you don't have to manually open the document, get all the information from somewhere, and you have to put in the documents and then save it in a PDF. All this process is completely automatic. So this was the use case here. So I'm going to show you like how we are going to create the model and the templates based on the existing documents we have. So the first step is you have to have the Microsoft Syntex licensing enabled for your organization. It currently support pay as you go model. So there are a lot of services. You have to manually turn it on and you have to select some sites and document library. All this configuration you have to done before you are going to create these services and using these services. So currently it is on the pay as you go model, and you must have the global admin or M365 admin role to create some Microsoft Syntex services. And also you need an active Azure subscription for that because it's going to associate with the resource group in the Azure. So let's say you have implemented the content assembly model in your admin center, then you have selected the site. So once you selected the site, you have to create a document library. And in the document library, you can see there is a new option called create a modern template. So once I click on that, it will, the first thing it will ask the what is the reference. So from which document you are creating one model. So I'm just going to select my template here. So as you can see, this is the SOW. Let me open the contract one. Okay, this is my contract template. So the template is automatically populated here. You can see these are the placeholder I've used to easily understand what all the fields are. So I'm not going to create all the fields and map all the fields because it will going to take some time. So I'm just going to showcase you like how you can map the fields. So first you have to select the area like where you want to replace it and where you want to put a dynamic content. So here as you can see, I have selected the client name. You have to click on field. You have to give it a name like what is this field is about. So this will be a client name. So once I selected this, I'm going to click on next. So it will ask us to what is the type of this. So it's a single line of text. So once I save it, it will create the field for client address as well. I'm going to select it. I'm going to create a name as client address. And once I click on next, I'm going to select it's a multi-line of text. Okay. So let's say in this type, you can map the fields in your document. There are multiple document formats supported. So you can see. So let's say this is a created date. I'm just going to name it as a contract date. And you can see these are only these types are supported currently, like single line of text, multiple, number, date and time. So for date and time, we have a lot of option. Like standard, we use the MMDDYY, this format. So once you have mapped all the fields, you have to click on publish. So you can give a contract template name. So let's say this, I will just going to give a template name as sample template. Then you have to select all the fields. Now, why do we need to select all the fields? Because once we publish the template, it will automatically create these columns in our SharePoint document library. So once I hit on publish, it will take a minute or two to publish this and everything is done. So as you can see, this is my contract library and all these columns got automatically created because I have selected this on the time of template creation. Now the process I've showcased you like whenever I enter the information in the list, the Power Automate flow will run and then create a document template. That was an automated process. But if you want to do it manually without going to Power Automate, you can do that. How you can do that? Click on new and you can see the contract template is automatically populated here. So once I click on that, it will open that document on the, let's say, left hand side, but you don't have to actually edit here. It will create a simple form like structure. As you can see, this is the contract date, this is the date field, the client name, I will set as Brian, and this is the client address. So we don't have to actually edit in the documents because we have to fill all the information here. So once I fill all the information, I just want to create a document. There are two types of available, documents and PDF. So I will just simply create this document and it will save in the document library. So there are two ways you can create. The first one is manual, manually go to the SharePoint library to create this, or the second one is automated. There are differences in between two because in the default syntax licensing, when you create a templates from here, contract template, you create any document, there is a standard licensing applied. But if you use the Power Automate to create this document template, there is some additional cost as well. So you can find all this information in the syntax licensing page on the MS Learn. So once the document got created, you can easily view the document here. So this was the complete process, like how you can create some contracts and all the information you have. You just have to fill in all the information. So let me show you what is the Power Automate flow I have created here. So just a really simple flow. So first, when my item got created in the SharePoint list, it will get the item based on the client name. So for every client, we got the SOW. In that we have mentioned the client name. So what it will do, it will have some unique ID for that. So based on that ID, it will fetch the information. It will list down that information, and here we have the action called generate document using Microsoft Syntex. So this document action, we have to generate a document. So here we have to select the site first, then we have to select a document library where the document is published. Then we have the document template. So if you created multiple document templates, then you will get a drop down. You have to select that document template and you will automatically get all these fields that already presented in your document library. So all these fields are required. You have to fill all these fields. So once I map all the fields and put the data here, you just have to save it. And whenever the new item will get created, the document will generate it based on the information you have in your SharePoint list and SharePoint document library. So this was the complete flow. So talking about the use cases. So the first one is contract management. We just saw like there are automatically generated documents based on the information we already have in multiple places. Then to create a SOW statement of works, you have the fixed formats. But instead of going to create manually, changing the formats of the word time to time, we have to create just a simple template. And the main thing is you have the data in the list as well. So if you want just the client information, you can just simply export the list. So that's the benefit here. Also, you can use for the service agreements or onboarding documents. So let's say if there are new joinees joining the organization, some companies also have their documents and they have mentioned some steps to complete their onboarding process. So what they can do, just create a simple document, just maintain a list of new hires. They can enter the hire detail and document will be dynamically generated based on the information that HR has been put in the list, and it will send it to the respective person. So all these things we can use the content assembly and the document generation model. So there are lots of model of Microsoft Syntex we have. Yeah. So this is the one. Also in document processing, there are multiple models and multiple licensing plan has been there. So if you are using it, you have to check the licensing as well. And if you are customizing it, there are the additional charges for that also. So we have to use it accordingly. Yeah, this was my presentation today about Microsoft Syntex. There are a lot of services. There are a lot of blogs we will find about that. And yeah, thank you.